A Russian soldier locked onto by an FPV drone. Kamikaze attack on Russian trenches. Soldiers caught in an ambush. Russian military vehicles are being destroyed. Operation against Russian trenches. Stay tuned for more. January 13th, 2026. A Ukrainian FPV drone detects a Russian soldier. While trying to hide along the roadside, the soldier is spotted and caught by the drone. Did you see the soldier? He's trying to hide, but out here, where can he really go? The drone begins circling, searching for the right position to strike. As the drone moves in to attack, a second soldier is suddenly exposed. Maneuvering around them, the drone launches its strike and successfully hits one of the soldiers, while the other manages to escape. An Ukrainian FPV drone successfully targeted Russian soldiers. While conducting reconnaissance over a road used by Russian forces in the Donetsk region, the FPV drone quickly spotted a Russian military vehicle and immediately moved in to attack. Did you notice the moment the soldiers realized what was happening? As soon as they saw the drone, they jumped out of the vehicle and tried to escape. But it was already too late. The drone switched to kamikaze mode and carried out the strike. The next attack is aimed at two Russian soldiers. Unaware that a drone was watching them, the two soldiers were moving through an abandoned area, most likely searching for a place to hide. After tracking them for a while, an FPV drone was sent directly toward their position. One of the Russian soldiers finally noticed the drone coming straight at him. But at that point, where could he even hide? The FPV drone, carrying explosives, flew directly into the soldier and detonated on impact. A Russian unmanned ground vehicle carrying anti-tank mines is destroyed by an FPV drone. Just look at the force of that explosion. Russian forces use these types of unmanned ground vehicles to transport equipment and supplies to frontline positions. Look at this soldier trying to hide in the open field among the snow. But even that wasn't enough to save him from the drone. These Russian soldiers become a target while moving together across the front line. The drone misses its first attack, but with a quick maneuver, it turns back and successfully locks onto one of the soldiers. This attack is a clear example of the precision and maneuverability of FPV drones. Russian soldiers moving quickly in a vehicle suddenly find themselves facing a drone strike. Moving back toward their trenches as a crowded group, these Russian soldiers also become targets of the drone. Just like this. A soldier transporting supplies to his trench in an off-road vehicle suddenly becomes the drone's target. When the Russian soldier notices the drone, he panics and jumps out of the vehicle. But before he can even get back on his feet, the rapidly approaching drone locks onto him and strikes. In the Lyman region, Ukraine's Signum Battalion continued targeting multiple Russian soldiers. One by one, Russian troops were detected and turned into targets for the drones. You can clearly see how helpless the soldiers are against these attacks, unable to do anything once they're spotted. These moments show just how powerful and decisive FPV drones have become on the battlefield. Once again, another lone Russian soldier is spotted. As soon as he notices the drone, he opens fire. But as you know, hitting these drones is extremely difficult. Despite firing multiple shots, he fails to hit it and can't avoid becoming the target of the explosive-laden drone. When a Russian soldier emerges from an underground shelter, he's spotted, and the hiding place of the Russian troops is exposed. FPV drones are immediately deployed, and the attack begins. Here's another attack. Did you spot the Russian soldier? While standing guard near the Pokrovsk region border, the soldier suddenly comes face to face with a Ukrainian FPV drone. The drone moves slowly, circling around him as it looks for the right angle to strike. The Russian soldier tries to take cover and fires at the drone, but none of the shots hit their target. For a while, This tense standoff between the soldier and the drone continues. But eventually, exhausted and with nowhere left to run, the soldier can't escape any longer. The drone then moves in quickly and launches its attack. Ukrainian forces carried out an operation against Russian positions in the Donetsk region. Watch closely. This is what happens next. Ukrainian soldiers launch a heavy assault on a shelter they've identified. There are 3 Russian soldiers inside. Grenades are thrown in, and then sustained fire follows. The Russian troops are unable to return fire. They're trapped inside and in a severely disadvantaged position. Unable to withstand the attack any longer, the Russian soldiers decide to surrender. 2 Russian troops come out unarmed, giving themselves up. However, 1 Russian soldier did not make it out of the shelter. This scene shows that Ukrainian forces are continuing their ground operations with intense pressure, pushing forward and forcing decisive outcomes on the battlefield. A Russian unmanned ground vehicle is detected. This type of vehicle is used to transport military equipment to frontline positions or to carry out attacks. An FPV drone is immediately deployed and a strike is carried out, completely disabling the vehicle. A Ukrainian soldier destroys a Russian FPV drone that was waiting in ambush along the road. While returning to their trenches in a vehicle, the drone is spotted just in time. After several shots, it's completely neutralized. Here are the remains of the disabled drone. The Ukrainian soldier then gets back into the vehicle and quickly leaves the area safely. Russian forces are sending military vehicles to provide logistical support to their troops in the Donetsk region. These vehicles, loaded with ammunition and various military supplies, come under attack by Ukrainian forces. As you can see, along the same logistical route, multiple Russian military vehicles are destroyed one after another. Attacks like these are steadily making the situation on the front line more difficult for Russian troops, cutting off supplies and increasing the pressure on their positions. Do you think it's possible to hold the front line when supply routes are this vulnerable? Every destroyed vehicle isn't just a loss of equipment. It means less ammunition, less fuel, and fewer supplies reaching the soldiers who depend on them. When logistics fail, even the strongest positions become harder to defend. A Russian vehicle carrying soldiers comes under the drone's sights. The driver manages to escape the vehicle immediately, but the soldiers riding on top weren't nearly as lucky. Ukrainian forces continue their attacks on Russian troops day and night. Thanks to the drone's thermal imaging systems, these operations don't stop after dark. They continue throughout the night. It wasn't just military vehicles. Infantry units were also among the targets. Take a look at these Russian soldiers on motorcycles. In winter conditions, that's a poor choice of vehicle for moving across the front line. A Russian tank and a BMP armored personnel carrier moved in to attack Ukrainian positions, but the assault was short-lived. Ukrainian forces quickly went on the defensive and managed to stop the attack before it could go any further. Here you can see the tank, a T-72. After being hit by 4 separate drone strikes, it's completely engulfed in flames and taken out of action. Right behind it is the BMP armored vehicle, which meets the same fate. With these losses, the Russian forces' attack attempt in the Sumy region is stopped almost immediately. The drone's next targets are Russian trenches and bunkers. In the Pokrovsk region, Ukrainian fiber optic drones managed to slip into enemy positions and strike the shelters one by one using high explosive charges. From the outside, these bunkers may look well camouflaged, but in reality, they're highly vulnerable. And it's not just the bunkers. Soldiers positioned inside abandoned houses are also detected and targeted, one after another. Trenches, bunkers, even abandoned houses. Places that once offered protection are no longer safe. With fiber optic FPV drones, Ukrainian forces can penetrate deep into enemy positions and deliver precise, high explosive strikes. If trenches and bunkers can no longer provide real protection, what does that mean for soldiers on the front line? Russian armored vehicles and artillery units are spotted while trying to take up positions in the Donetsk region, and they're quickly detected and neutralized. Ukrainian FPV drones carrying anti-tank mines destroy Russian equipment with single, precise strikes. Some heavy weapons are later found abandoned on the battlefield, left behind as Russian forces are forced to withdraw under pressure. A Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicle captures the aftermath of a fierce clash, following the repulsion of Russian forces from an area near the Kyiv region. The footage reveals a stark scene: damaged and abandoned armored vehicles, scattered pontoon equipment, and terrain scarred with craters left by artillery of various calibers. The number of destroyed armored vehicles is so high that it clearly shows Russian forces suffered heavy losses. All of this was the result of artillery strikes and drone attacks working together. Ukraine's intense and determined defense is forcing Russian forces to pull back from the area.